Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
Wait, no, sorry, I'm not married to that.
That was really stupid.
Let's try this one again.
Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
And this is Not Married to This.
Okay, Joe, my show's about to start. All right, ready?
Yeah. This is insane.
What? God forbid I check if we're ready. Oh my gosh. You're acting like I've just been sitting here twiddling my thumbs.
I honestly think if I was not like, hey, let's go, this would have, it would be another 25 minutes before you start. You had to go to the bathroom and you instantly, as soon as Emily mentioned Love on the Spectrum, you ran back halfway to the bathroom to sit back down and talk about it. We would still be going. Sometimes I do feel bad because I'm like, okay, like don't, be nice. Like don't.
Yeah, be nice. God forbid I like to chat.
But like we still would not start the podcast.
You're so impatient. Guys, welcome back to Not Married to This. You'd think Joe would be in a better mood today because we've redesigned this whole studio just for his personal vibe.
Okay, if you guys want, like, send us some DMs or we'll do like a little poll on Instagram because this was my suggestion.
Describe it to the listeners because not everyone's watching on YouTube. Tell them what you've done to the studio.
Good point, Serena. Good point.
Yeah, this is actually an audio podcast, believe it or not.
Good catch. The studio now has an exposed brick wall behind us. Before, it was all this yellow curtain, which I felt was washing us out. And it felt claustrophobic. It wasn't really my vibe. And I know Serena is against the exposed brick.
I'm not against it. I liked the continuity of the curtain, and you know me, I love a neutral tone. I go back and forth on exposed brick. Sometimes I feel like it's a little bit outdated, but I actually feel like I like the way it feels recording in here with the brick in the background and not being completely encompassed by curtain.
Where would you like to take this podcast today?
Let's take it back. Let's update the people. Let's update each other. We went to Toronto together about a week and a half ago, and then I stayed in Toronto for another week. And Joe went to Chicago for a week. So we've just been reunited and it feels so good.
It does feel good. We've been honestly, I love going home. I love going to Toronto, but like when I'm gone for I think it's been like 10 days.
Yeah, we were away for 10 days.
10 days is a long time to be away from your home.
Yeah.
Living out of a suitcase.
And see, you'll always be like, oh, we should go to London for like 2-3 weeks. You would never last 3 weeks away from your day-to-day routine and your own bed. We were in Japan.
Vacation,
and at, like, the 7-day mark,
Europe's
you're
different.
always like, ooh, like, should we go home?
Vacation is different than going home.
Yeah, but I'm saying for you, it's not. Like at the 7-day mark, you always start to get antsy to go home.
Yeah, but
no matter where we are.
It's easier to go home early than to extend the trip. I'm
just talking about staying the length that we planned. I don't know if we've talked about this, but Joe is the king of changing his flight. Like, my parents are constantly like, they're like, oh, did Joe change his flight? Like, is he like, even like 2 hours? He'll be like, oh, I'm on a 12 o'clock flight, but I'm changing it to a 10 a.m. Oh, I'm on a 10 a.m., but I'm changing it to a 6 a.m. Oh, I'm going to stay an extra day. Oh, I tried to leave a day early. Like, rarely do you ever just want to get on the flight that you have planned for yourself.
I always look to change my flight.
Always. Like 100% of the time. Especially when you're in Chicago, just because I think you have more flexibility.
And I like that attribute about myself.
Really? Tell us more.
Because I think it's fun. I think it's spontaneous. It shows that I'm willing to make a move if need be. I'm always willing to call an audible, And I don't think a lot of people are like that. I think some people are just like, I'm stuck. I can't change it. But I'm like, no, you could. And that's why if you actually, what I just said, if you apply that to your life, it's like, you don't have to be stuck. You can
always change your flight.
You could always change. You could always grow. You could always evolve as a person. And I feel like I do a really great job of that.
Gosh, you sound like Sincere from Love Island right now with this motivational speech. But I will say, you constantly having a desire to change your flight is like a side effect of some of my favorite characteristics about you that you just described. Like your spontaneity, your willingness to be like, I want to leave earlier. Guess what? I'm going to do it. Like, I'm not just going to sit and wish that I was leaving earlier. I'm going to get on an earlier flight.
Exactly.
But I've never met anyone in my life that does this. You're one of a kind, baby.
Thank you.
when we were going to Toronto, do you want to confess your sin?
Forgetting my passport?
Forgetting your passport.
Does this leak into the dating relationship topic?
Yeah, this does tie into our relationship topic for the week.
Okay.
So tell the story, and then we'll get into our relationship topic for the week.
So we pull up. We're at the airport. We go through security. I am someone who I never, like, I did used to lose my keys a lot. I would lose my keys. I would sometimes lose my wallet, but I kind of stopped that around like 26.
What? What do you mean? What happened? You're losing it all the time, and then
Well, like going out, I would just lose shit, you know?
Okay.
But like forgetting my passport before going to the airport is something I don't do.
Have you ever done that?
No.
I've never done that either.
I get through security. We're walking to our gate, and I went, fuck me. I forgot my passport. And right there, I was like, in my head, instantly, my brain is like, okay, how are we going to fix this problem immediately? And I went like, there is no fixing this problem. There is no fixing it. The passport is not here. You can't go anywhere.
You know what? I'm sorry. I actually do think that this is a flaw in the system. You shouldn't be able to check your bags for an international flight without them checking and visually seeing your passport. You should have to show someone your passport or scan your passport at the baggage drop-off before you go to TSA. Because had we noticed there, you might have had time to whip back home and get your passport.
I got a question.
Why
the fuck do I need a passport, physical passport anyways?
Okay, well, I'm not quite aligned with you.
What are you talking about? Think about, we go to the airport, they scan my eyes, they scan my hands, my whole body's scanned in the system. Do you really need me to be like, oh, here it is, here's my passport? You know if I got a passport. You know if I could travel internationally or not. Like everyone knows. They know. They scan. They have everything about me. What about my physical passport matters at this point? Is that not insane? Are we not crazy? Like, what are we doing? Like we have artificial intelligence literally running our lives, taking over jobs, doing everything. But nope, I need my physical passport. Like, what?
I don't know. That's a great, like, I don't
it's
know.
So
like,
frustrating.
I feel like I should be like, that's a terrible take, but like, I don't know the answer as to why that would be a terrible take, because the fact that we could get all the way to the gate without the passport, but the thing is you need it for customs, and we do customs in Toronto, which is how we got that far without
customs
it.
Has all my info.
I mean,
what you have everything.
We have Nexus/Global Entry, meaning they just scan your face and then you walk through. I didn't even show my passport at customs.
At the end of the day, we don't need anything on us because they know. They know how much money we have in the bank. They know everything. Like, I should literally just be like, I'm going to buy this coffee for $8. And they should be like, okay, see you, Joe. You're good. We know how much you got. Like, we'll just deduct it. Yeah.
Let's continue the story. Joe stops in his tracks. We're at the gate. I turn around and I'm like, what? Usually my first thing is like, oh my gosh, did Bitcoin just go down? But he wasn't looking at his phone and his head was in his hands. And I was like, oh, he's definitely forgotten something, which is, again, really unlike you.
Yeah.
I always attribute it to it being kind of an American thing to forget your passport, because Canadians, yes, you can travel within Canada without your passport, but you can't travel anywhere else. And most of the time, we're not traveling within Canada. Not most of the time, but a lot of the time. Whereas Americans won't leave America as much. There's just like so many more places to go here, I guess. So I was like, oh, that's so American of you to forget your passport. But I actually feel like that's unfair because you had a lot going on and you've never in your life forgotten your passport. So I feel like it's just a coincidental situation. But I was like, this was my suggestion. I actually thought this was a good idea. We just didn't quite have enough time. I was like, have our friends from across the street or our doormen run up to our apartment, get your passport, and put it in an Uber courier. But the last thing you want is someone stealing your passport. And we just, don't be shaking your head like that's a crazy idea. That's
a crazy idea because we were boarding in 14 minutes.
No,
and
we weren't. 45 minutes
away. We lived 55 minutes away. We would have never made it.
I
We would have
know.
never made it because you have a very difficult time with time
management.
Time management.
I think
time management is, out of all your attributes,
Yeah.
is your worst one.
I know. I think I might
You
have
just don't get it. Like, you just don't get it. Like, I don't understand. You don't
I don't get it. I don't. And I'll be transparent about that.
Like 45 minutes to you, if no one's like rushing you, is you will sit there for 2.5 hours and then you'll be like shocked that you missed it.
Well, there's two things. One, I don't mind rushing. I hate being ready early. Like the discomfort I feel when I'm ready like 20 minutes early for something and I'm like, so I just have to sit here ready now, like kill time. I don't like killing time.
Yeah, you hate that, right?
I hate it.
It makes you so uncomfortable and so anxious. I see it in you.
Yes.
Maybe you should think about how I feel when I'm doing that every single time. Like maybe think about that, the anxiety you feel when you're ready early, that my husband has to feel that 3 to 4 days a week.
So the other thing is I do think I have a degree of time blindness. That's like a real thing. I don't think I have full time blindness, but my therapist has this thing called a time timer in her office, which you get it on Amazon, and it's a visual timer. And I have one at home and I have one for myself in Toronto so that I can visually see like how much time is left versus having to do the calculation in my head, which makes it sound like I don't know how to tell time or do basic math. I do know how to do both of those things. But like for me to sit down and be like, oh, I have 45 minutes to get this done, like it's way easier for me if I can see it on a clock. And I love my time timer. And it does help. I used it today.
Okay.
I wasn't ready early, but we're working on it. Can we get back on track with this passport story?
You're the one talking. This is crazy. You're the one talking.
Okay, Joe decided to go back to the apartment, get his passport. There's a lot of flights out of New York to Toronto. There's one every like hour or two. I got on the 10 a.m. flight. Joe rebooked onto a 12 o'clock flight. Segueing into the relationship topic of the week, we're doing two parts to this. One, if this happens to your partner, if they're going to miss their flight, do you change your flight and get on the flight with them, or do you abandon them? And then the second part is going to be about upgrades. But let's start with this, because I originally was like, okay, I'll come with you. Like, I'll just change my flight as well. And then you were like, no, there's no point. Go get my bags because all of our bags are going to go through. Everything's already checked. However, when you switched your flight, your bags got taken off, put on your new flight. So it didn't really make sense. So I don't know. I felt bad leaving you. I felt like I should have gone back to the apartment with you because I hate anyone ever doing anything alone. And that's my own struggles. But I was also like, well, I'm here. I'm at the gate. Like, we're boarding in 10. Like, should I just get on this flight? And you were like, yeah, just get on the flight.
Yeah.
You don't think I should have gone with you?
I think in our case, because there was 10 more flights the rest of the day to Toronto, why both suffer when you could just get on it? I do think like if we were obviously traveling to Madrid or like somewhere, and I said Madrid because we missed our flight that one time. But if we were traveling very far out of the country, we would definitely just leave together. Like
100%.
You have to like.
I would never.
You wouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna go to Spain for a day without you. Like that would be.
No.
I'd be like, what?
That would be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if it's a short, quick thing, like an hour or two, you can go your separate ways. If it's anything longer than that, like you move together as a unit. I also think it makes a difference that we were going home to see family. You know what I mean? Like if it was Chicago and it was me, like roles were reversed, I would have been like, get on the flight, go spend an hour or two with your mom. I'll meet you there. And you know what? I was a sweetie. I was a super sweetie. And we went to the grocery store by the airport, killed some time, and I still picked you up from the airport with my mom. And how nice was that?
That was really.
I know. It was really nice. It was really nice of me. I didn't have to do that, but I did.
I don't know why you're yelling at me about it. I mean, it was really nice. I said thank you. I will say though, if we were going, let's say I'll use Madrid, whatever. If we were going to Madrid and we had like, and it was work related, and like we had to be there at that time, and then like I forgot my passport, that one I might be like, yo, like you got it.
Oh yeah. Well,
go.
if it's work, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
If it's work related and we're both supposed to show up somewhere, you forgot your passport, I'd be like, I'm still going to go and be there on behalf of both of us. Because if I didn't, they'd be like, huh?
Well, no, but I mean, yeah.
I don't know. That would be my take. Before we leave the passport thing, it is crazy because every time before we leave the house, you go, do you have your passport? I just can't believe you forgot it still. It's so unlike you, but you got a lot going on right now. Relationship topic of the week, part 2. This is the bigger one. What do you do if you are traveling with your partner and one of you gets upgraded and the other does not. And this has happened to us before because Joe has status with United where we automatically get on the upgrade list most of the time. Woo! And he's first and I'm second sometimes on the list, and we're waiting to see if he gets upgraded and I don't, or we both get upgraded, or neither of us get upgraded.
My take on upgrades in a relationship is this. A, who's the bigger person? Physically, who's bigger? Because the person that's larger, usually a bigger space is just more convenient, more comfortable. So there is that. I will say, as long as the other person isn't stuck in a middle seat, one of you should take the upgrade, because why give it to a stranger when you paid for it? Essentially, even if you get upgraded, it's your points. It's the amount of money that you spend on your credit card is why you get upgraded. So why not take that reward? And I believe someone should take it. And like you could do, which this I would never do. Like I am so against this. I'm as passionate about this as I am about the passport. I would never be like, I'll take it for the first half of the flight and you take it for the second half of the flight. It's like fucking splitting a sandwich. Who wants to do that?
First of all, I love splitting sandwiches, and I suggest it all the time, and you never do it. Second of all, if we're flying to Madrid and you get upgraded and it's a pod and I'm in the back in an aisle seat and it's a red-eye flight, I would be like, you go sleep for the first half, wake up, and then let's swap, and I will sleep for the second half, because sleeping laying down in a pod bed is a million times more comfortable. If you were like, yo, we're not switching, then we would have a problem. I'd be like, oh, so you're just gonna hog that flatbed for a 9-hour flight while I'm chilling in the back with Joe Schmo and his toes out? Are you kidding me?
If you were sitting next to someone that had their toes out, that's a whole different.
It happens. People wear flip flops on planes.
So gross. When you put it like that I wasn't thinking.
I'm not talking a 2.5 hour, 3-hour flight.
No. I'm talking about. Listen, I'm talking about New York to LA. I'm talking about a 5-hour, 5.5-hour flight. I don't want to switch, because the whole time, if I'm sitting in that first class seat first, the whole time I'm thinking, man, my time's almost up. I won't even be able to enjoy it, because the whole time I'm thinking about how it's going to be going away from me, and then I'm going to have to go back to the.
Well, then why don't you go second and I'll go first? Because I don't like the meal anyway. I just want to sleep. Like when I get the luxury of once in a while being in a pod, which is usually when we're traveling for work or we get upgraded, I am flat as a board, duvet on, eye mask on, pillow behind my head, boom, out like a light. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm literally happy thinking about it right now.
You're out like a light in the middle seat. You're like this. Like the whole time. It's crazy. Leaning on the other person's shoulder every time.
I don't mean to.
You fall asleep immediately.
I'm
honestly,
a sleepy girl. I'm just a really sleepy girl.
In our relationship, like amongst us two, I should always automatically get the upgrade, because you sleep the entire plane. You're small. You're always comfortable. And like I would honestly, I'm a gentleman, and I would always give it to you, because that's just
I don't think that's ever happened.
Well, it's never happened to where one of us got upgraded.
Has it not? I swear there has been one or two times where you've been upgraded and I haven't.
Yeah, and I haven't taken it.
No, but there's been a few where you have, but it's usually on a short flight.
We have never done that where I've sat in first and you
yes, because I have a video of me walking by you being like, oh, he's in first. Like, bye. I'll be back here.
I don't think so.
You're just trying to save face in front of the people right now.
I'm not trying
but you
to
did
save
that.
face.
You did that to me, and you need to accept that.
Well, I'm going to do it next time, and I'm not going to feel bad.
Look, the reality is
I'm bigger.
You're twice my height. It is so much less comfortable for you in economy.
Think about it.
I agree. I'm agreeing.
I've
thought about it, and I agree.
We see the world differently. Like, you see the world from 5'2". I see the world from 6'2".
I know. I'm staring at a lot of backs, and you're staring at a lot of
like I have no
heads.
idea what it's like to be 5'2" sitting in an airplane seat.
Yeah.
And you don't know what it feels like to be 6'2".
I don't, and I never will.
Moral of the story is this. When you're in a relationship and you travel a lot, communication is important. And this is something, believe it or not, you should communicate with your partner what to do in case one person gets upgraded.
That's a good point.
And the other one doesn't.
Because if in the heat of the moment that upgrade shows up, you've never talked about it, and you're like, oh, accept.
Could end the relationship.
And
it could end the relationship.
It could.
Like if Serena got upgraded and just was like, I'm taking it, and like gave me an attitude about it, like that could be the start of the end.
It's dangerous out here. Traveling as a couple, it's dangerous. Proceed with caution is what we say when it comes to taking the upgrade. Let's get into our topics of the week. We missed the royal wedding. We were not in NYC for it. Our invite got lost in the mail. We were out of town. Oh, so busy. We couldn't make it. But Taylor and Travis did get married.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't know that.
You didn't know they got married?
No, like my cousin texted me joking, like, why aren't you at the wedding? I'm like, whose wedding? We did the topic for Polymarket about Travis and Taylor's wedding. I didn't know they were planning a wedding yet. I thought it was like, oh, their wedding in the future.
You are so offline. Sometimes it's crazy. Like sometimes I bring things up to you that are like the most trending topic on the internet, and you're like, I've never heard about that in my life. And we've actually talked about this.
Yeah, I for whatever reason, I was like, they're engaged, they're getting married, but like I thought they like just started their wedding planning.
You thought that this was just like a hypothetical, they might get married at Madison Square Garden one day
situation. Yeah, are no photos released yet?
No, so let me fill you in, and anyone else listening that's a Joe right now, let me fill you in. So Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were married on July 3rd at Madison Square Garden, which, if you're not familiar with, it's a big stadium in the middle of New York. It was a star-studded wedding. Lots of people were there. Selena Gomez, Gigi Hadid, Bradley Cooper, Ed Sheeran, Sabrina Carpenter, Jack Antonoff, Hugh Grant, Karlie Kloss, Dakota Johnson. Shall I go on? I think that's enough. You want to know who officiated the wedding?
Adam Sandler.
See, you do know what's up.
Well, I knew that because I saw it in the notes.
I thought that was random, no? I love Adam Sandler, and I would also let him officiate my wedding. I don't know who I thought would officiate their wedding. I guess I just wasn't expecting Adam Sandler. I actually feel like he would crush it.
Oh, he definitely crushed it.
He would be like really amazing.
I mean, Travis Kelce was in Happy Gilmore too. I'm more curious. It's not even the photos. I want to see what she did to Madison Square Garden.
Me too.
Like, what does it look like? Does it look like you're going to a Knicks game, or is this, did they change the sky? Or they're like what does it look like?
So this is what it says. Guests first entered the venue and walked through a tunnel that featured photos of Swift and Kelce throughout the years, from childhood through their relationship together. Then guests stepped into what was the couple's secret garden. This is the thing. When I think of getting married at Madison Square Garden, the first word that comes to mind is tacky. However, I am not living a life with the amount of money that these two people are living. I can't even fathom transforming Madison Square Garden into what they could potentially have turned it into. I am sure it did not look anything like it does when we go to the Harry Styles concert there. It probably looked completely different than anything we could even imagine. And I read something that said, like, even though it was 1,000 people, it felt surprisingly intimate, which means they definitely didn't like just have a full open stadium and like section 102 filled with the guests.
Well, then what's the point of doing it there,
I wonder if it was just an element of like security. You know what I mean? Like, she wanted to have this big wedding with all of these celebrities. Like, I don't think you can do that in like a Rhode Island, but maybe I'm wrong. Again, like, this is like, I'm not living in that tax bracket where I would know the answers to these questions. My other thing was she is not like they're not a subtle couple. It aligns with their style as a couple to be like, we're getting married in the center of New York and everyone's coming and everyone knows it and we're putting it on the big screen. And it's super America to me. Like, it's super Americana.
When I think Taylor and Travis, to me, like, those two are like picturesque for like a Wyoming, Yellowstone type of wedding venue. Like, I picture them like
in the countryside.
Yeah, or like the mountains and the countryside, and like Wyoming, and like that's, to me, like, that is what I picture. And
okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't really picture the city, Madison Square Garden. Like, it wouldn't shock me if Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner got married in Madison Square Garden.
Really?
Yeah, that would make more sense to me.
I guess that is so like Timmy Chalamet.
Yeah, that would make more sense to me than those two. Those two, yeah, I picture more like fairy tale, countryside, like outdoors, picturesque. Like it almost looks like they're getting married in like heaven.
No, I
that's what I think.
It's just because she's a creative and you feel that it should almost look like it's out of like a movie or a fairy tale.
No, I just think it aligns with their brand.
But in what way?
Like the color of their hair, like together, it just like reminds me of
just like white blondes. Yeah. Like send them out to the
it just like looks that I don't know
to Wyoming.
Yeah, it's just like they just look like they would. That's where they would get married. That's what I would have bet. If I would have taken that play on Polymarket, that's what I would have went.
Okay, well, good to know. Maybe they'll honeymoon there. Who can say? What did you think of the fact that they lit up the outside of MSG with JUST&T married? I feel like we needed to hire a different copywriter for that, if I'm going to be totally honest.
I just want to wait and see what the photos look like.
Do you think that they will release photos from the wedding? And do you think that they will do any sort of debrief on the Kelsey's podcast about it? Because they're not keeping it a secret. Like, they're out there.
Yeah. I think yes, and yes. I think the photos are probably going to be, probably Vogue, I would assume. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, who's the bigger? Who would be the biggest?
I think Vogue.
Yeah. So I would say Vogue releases the photos, and I would say they definitely talk about it on their podcast.
I hope they do. I'm really curious. I'm intrigued. They've done something that no one else has ever done before. So I'm curious. I want to know. Taylor Frankie Paul has a lot going on. The other famous Taylor of the week. She allegedly checked herself into a rehab facility. Her ex-husband, Tate, filed a restraining order against her. And both of her exes, Dakota and Tate, are now sharing a legal team. So we won't get into the nitty-gritty of all the news there, but let's chat about how we think these events will impact the season of The Bachelorette. And I'm so sorry to ask you that question for the 1 millionth time. I do feel like we're a little bit Groundhog Day here. However, there was so much rumors and speculation that July was the month that they were dropping it on probably Hulu, because that's the streaming platform for the Bachelor franchise. And we have seen in the past that Taylor Frankie Paul's personal life has impacted their decision to air or not to air the season. So I think it's fair to question if her personal life will once again impact their decision to air or not to air it.
If she checks herself into rehab, anyone checking themselves into rehab, if it's for mental health, addiction, whatever it's for, is always a good thing, because then that person realizes they need some help.
Yes, and we are always pro getting the support that you need.
As far as are they going to air her season or not, like, who gives a fuck at this point? Like, I'm sorry. Like, they have been teased. Like, you have all these people coming out just teasing it. Like, oh, it's going to be released. It's going to be released on Hulu. It's going to be released. It's going to be released on TV. It's going to be released. Like, what? Like, people watch The Bachelorette, and there's obviously spoilers. But I would say majority of the fans that watch the show watch it pre-spoiler, not knowing, and more because they're curious to see what happens in the end. We all know. Like, we know what happens in the end, and we all know to the point where we don't want to know anymore. Like enough is enough, and I just think, like, sure, if they release it, I'm sure it's somewhat entertaining, and I do think, like, the true, like, Taylor Frankie Paul fandom would still want to watch her, but, like, overall, like, it's like I don't want to watch and I always, like, refer back to sports, but, like, after a while, if like the Knicks won the championship, and I know, and I've seen all these clips on the internet of the Knicks winning the championship, and I've heard podcasts and everyone talking about it, like, at the end of the day, like, will I watch the game that they won at that point? Like, I mean, I'm not like a diehard Knicks fan, so no, and I know diehard Knicks fans would, but, like, yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I already know the outcome.
Yeah,
like,
and it feels like we've moved so far past
the point
in time we were at when the season filmed now. Yeah. So much has happened between like her stepping out of the limo on night 1 to now. I don't know. I've gone so back and forth.
Yeah,
on
like
this.
would you watch it? You like take away this podcast. We're not podcasting. We're not talking about reality TV. None of that.
Yeah.
No podcast. Would you watch it?
I think that I would probably tune into the first episode just out of pure curiosity. My decision to continue watching it or not, truthfully, may come from if everyone else is watching it or not. And not to be like a total bandwagoner, but if everyone is watching it and everyone's talking about it, like any other show, I want to be part of the culture. I want to know what's going on. I want to be able to see it and give my own takes and be part of the conversation. However, taking that away, I don't feel a sense of drive or motivation to watch this season outside of like wanting to be a part of everyone else watching it if they are.
Well,
do you know what I mean? Like I don't have an independent like, oh my gosh, I really want to see it. What? Sorry.
This was running on. I agree. Like I also think like when you say a part of the conversation, well, what's the conversation people are going to even be having? Because everybody like...
Well, just like recapping the show, you know, like basic Bachelor drama, like who we think's going to win isn't part of the conversation.
Yeah, that's what I just think because of the structure of the show and how the show, like what the show is, like that online conversation, I don't even see that becoming a thing.
Do you think that what's happening right now in her personal life is part of the conversation if they should or shouldn't air it? Or do you think that they've made a decision and they're going to do whatever they're going to do separate from what's happening in Taylor Frankie Paul's personal life?
I don't think they know what they're doing with this.
I mean, it is unprecedented. This has never happened before.
I personally feel like they probably just, when they shut it down the first time, it was like, we're shutting this down. And like, that's it.
Yeah, but there's still a profit element. They're probably still looking for ways to recoup what they've lost.
Yeah, but sometimes a loss is a loss. You take it, you write it off, and that's it.
On.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I've gone so back and forth both in private and on this podcast if I think they should or shouldn't air it. Today, in this moment, I would go, no, just don't air it. But that also might change. Quick Summer House topic. Amanda is officially leaving Summer House. She will not be returning for season 11.
Is Kyle coming back?
Kyle is coming back, so is Lindsay and Carl.
Crazy.
They start filming usually July 4th weekend, and I saw a bunch of photos of them on social media and stuff in the Hamptons at Surf Lodge this weekend, out and about.
Crazy.
I mean, she's been on every single season since it started. In the City hasn't been renewed yet, so it's up in the air if she'll return to that or not. This feels like maybe the appropriate way to close out the Wes and Amanda scandal with both of them not returning to this next season of Summer House, because the reality is they could always come back down the line, but I think taking a pause and giving everyone some space is the right decision.
I think it would have been strange if Wes didn't come back, but Amanda did, and they were still together.
Yes and no, though, because she has been part of this show forever. He only joined like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, but she's also never been part of the show like as Amanda. It's always been Amanda and Kyle.
Right, because he was a full-time cast member in the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't think she was. I think she joined like season 2 or 3 as his girlfriend.
I think if Amanda and Wes broke up and she went on the show, that would be more. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah.
To then see how her and Kyle navigate. But I think like with her being with Wes and then Wes not being in the house, and then like she would have to take the blunt of like everything without his support being there. I think it would have just been like, I don't know. It probably would have been really repetitive and like a lot of the same conversations.
Yeah. And people are going to get burnt out on the scandal.
I think they already are.
So I think that this is the right decision, and I still think there's a chance that they're both on In the City if it does get renewed.
Yeah, I could see that.
Jesse Solomon said something that I thought you might find a little bit funny just based on what you had said about Sierra a few episodes ago. Jesse Solomon has hinted he will be back and hoping to find love, quote, fingers crossed.
Yeah, what's happening to this show? It's never been a I hope I find love this summer. Is that the new theme of Summer House? Like, is it now like, hopefully you get into a relationship and then you're off the show?
I don't know, but I feel like we've seen things about like it's Sierra's moment, finding love, Jesse's looking for love. I think the dating, romance, hookup, relationship element of Summer House and all of these like docuseries reality is always a big part of them and very, very interesting as a viewer to watch unfold. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. I'm like, get Jesse Solomon on The Bachelor. Make Jesse Solomon The Bachelor, honestly. I think he'd do a good job at it, and he clearly wants to find love. Real Housewives of Rhode Island, Liz McGraw will not be returning for season 2. She announced it via Instagram.
That's crazy to me. You just told me that.
Yeah. I didn't know you knew that, or I would have told you live on the podcast. But again, like, I forget how offline you are sometimes.
Didn't know that.
No, I didn't know you didn't know. But you were shocked when I was like, we were doing prep, and I was like, oh, and then we'll talk about Liz not coming back for Rhode Island. And you were like, huh? What do you mean she's not coming back? I mean, she was a huge character.
Huge character. In my opinion, she was probably the star of the show.
Yeah, to an extent. She had the most consistent role throughout the season. Like, if we were calculating screen time, she's up there for first, I think.
I think she was the, like, if you're talking the main character of the show, I think it was her.
Yeah, she said, I look forward to enjoying this little corner of the world from the other side of the camera. I mean, she's not even coming back as friend of show. Like, she's out. I wonder what motivated her to say goodbye after only one season. That is so rare.
Well, I think it's probably, I didn't know what I was getting into.
Yeah.
I did this, and this isn't for me. I think if you're going to, if you have doubts and you're going to leave, like, leaving after one season is always the move, because you stick around for season 2, season 3, and then you're in too deep.
Yeah.
And then you probably feel like at this point, I can't leave.
Yeah.
Like, now I have to defend myself here or do this. So to me, it's like, if you are having doubts after that first season, get out.
Yeah.
You know, like, run.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Because it's always that thing where, like, stay long enough and see yourself become the villain, and then you got to stay long enough to have a redemption arc.
Exactly.
And that could take a really long time.
Exactly. And I think we see that with so many people, especially in, like, the Bravo space of, like, at this point, like, I'm in it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in it, and I might as well.
Well, it's kind of like Ben from Summer House. He's leaving as well. And I feel like things started to take a turn for him at the end of the season. And he was probably like, this is only going to go downhill for me. I got to get out of here.
Well, yeah. And I think it just ends up being like, the only way you could do these shows and be a main character and something that they keep asking on is if you just kind of like are willing to be like, this is my life, and I'm willing to expose every element of it.
Well, and in her story on the show, she talks about her friendship with Dino. Dino is in deep with the law right now, potentially going to jail. So maybe she's just like, there's a lot going on in my personal life. I just need to take a step back from the camera and kind of like remain private for now.
Sure, yeah. I mean, speculative, but...
Yeah. Oh, very speculative.
You don't know.
Love Island thoughts. It's wrapping up soon. So
much better than last season.
I really like this season.
I thought it started out slower, but like it's really ramped up, and like midway till now, it's been highly entertaining.
I liked last season. However, this season's movie night, oh my goodness, it was so good. And it's unfortunate.
Pinnacle reality TV was that movie night.
It was really good.
Way to go.
The sad thing about movie night being good is that it means people were doing so much shady stuff.
Yeah.
So unfortunate, but fortunate for us as the viewers for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, it's always important to also like take a step back and be like, we don't know these people.
Yeah.
And like, this is only like 20 days of their lives. Like, it isn't like, I know like Melanie's distraught and you feel terrible for her, and Anaya's really upset, but like, it's also like they're gonna be okay. Like, they're in Thailand on a fucking,
Thailand? They're in Fiji,
Thailand. They're on a reality show, like a dating show. Like, it's meant to make people sad and upset and cry and feel emotions, but like, everyone's going to be fine.
Well, Cameron, who you guys may know from TikTok or from the Unwell Winter Games, we're obsessed with his Love Island recap TikToks.
Hilarious.
He's so funny. We will literally watch a Love Island episode and then go watch his
I watch
TikTok
Love Island
together.
episodes just so I could watch his recaps.
Truly hysterical. He made one the other day basically being like, it's the point in the season where people start to get way too parasocial with these people because I mean, you've been watching them every single day. You start to feel like you know these people. You start to get really invested in them and their personal lives. He literally said, like, I like talking shit. I come in here and I'll be like, Sincere, you don't have a brain. However, I'm not going to find Sincere's sister and DM her, your brother doesn't have a brain. And also, I wish he was never born. Like, that's wild behavior.
Yeah, like, what does that say about you wishing he's never been born? Like, at the end of the day, like, sure, Sincere has a lot of flaws and they're for dating, and like he's clearly just like not ready. He's young. He's clearly still a fuckboy. He's not ready to date.
Yeah,
he can't really turn down a hot girl if she's in front of him and it's not his girlfriend. So yeah, he definitely has all those flaws. But like so many people in this world do. Like it doesn't mean he's like this awful, horrendous person. He's probably like still like a really nice person. And yeah, he's just like very immature when it comes to dating. But like not wishing he was born is like such a fucking terrible thing to say.
It's terrible.
Like
and
it's so absolutely
extreme.
terrible.
I mean, I can never fathom doing something like that. Truly, it is a TV show. It is not that serious. Yes, he should potentially consider a name change for sure. Sincere, maybe that's not the name for you. Would I find his family member and say he shouldn't be born? Oh my God, that thought would never even cross my mind. And the fact that there's people that are like, you know what? This is a really good idea. I'm going to reach out to his sister and say something just so horrendous about her brother. Like, let's reel in the parasocial relationships a little bit. Let's remember it's a TV show. Let's remember this is just fun and games. You know what I mean? You want to criticize a little. You want to talk a little shit to your friends about the show. So fun. We're all here for it. But like, don't reach out to the family members. Like, ugh.
At the end of the day, the people that go on the show take the risk. And yes, feel free. You could talk shit about them, and you could, go off. But like, there's a line, and when you cross that line, it's like, well, then what does it say about you? Like, what would I like if you were on the show? What would people be saying about you then?
Yeah, no one's perfect.
But yeah, no, the show's been excellent.
I'm gonna list out some couples.
Yeah.
And I want to get your takes on all of them.
Yeah.
Sincere and Melanie. Let's start there.
Sincere and Melanie, never going to make it. Toxic. I think they both really like each other, but like the relationship's over. They will not make it. Like, yeah, they maybe hook up when they get home, but like,
I could see them being like an on again, off again. He keeps doing things dirty. He keeps doing her dirty, keeps playing in her face, keeps lying. And she unfortunately keeps taking him back, which I don't want. I think she deserves so much better. I don't think he deserves death threats by any means. However, I think that, you know what I think? I actually said this when we were watching. Sincere is treating Love Island like he's The Bachelor. Like he's compartmentalizing all these connections where he's like.
I told you that.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Did I steal that from you?
Yeah, you did.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. We're one brain. Proceed. Do you want to share?
Yes, he's separating each connection, and he's basically like with Soul. He basically, like Melanie, I believe in his head, Melanie just didn't exist anymore.
When he was with Soul.
When he was with Soul, it was like, okay. And I think he thought that was the right way to move, but it's like, no, it's not.
It's not actually. It's actually objectively not the right way to move. No, I agree. Like when he was with Soul or with Amora, he was like, I'm all in on this connection. I'm giving this connection 110%.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean I'm betraying Melanie because I have multiple connections. Whereas I think in Love Island, there's more of a ranking system. Like you have your main connection and then you have the people you're exploring, but you kind of always got to report back to your main connection. I think his biggest mistake above all else was exploring his other connections outside of Melanie way too hard and way too fast unnecessarily, and then lying to most people about what he was doing.
Yeah.
That was definitely problem number one.
Well, the way the guys move, the way most of the guys did move, it's like, it's crazy. It's bad to do that in real life. it's insane to do that when you're mic'd up and on camera. Like
Living with the girl.
What do you think is going to happen? Like you're literally being recorded. But crazy.
Yes.
Go on.
One last thought on this before we move on. One quick thought. I love Anaya and Trinity. Oh my gosh. I'm obsessed with Trinity, but I love them both so much. I need them to take a page out of Parmita's book and bring our girl Melanie away from Sincere. I know they're friends with Sincere and they want to like ride for that relationship, but like we got to bring it to an end.
Yeah.
It's time for it
I
to
just
be
said
over.
it's too toxic.
It is too toxic. Anaya and Carl.
Anaya and Carl.
I love it. I actually hope it works out.
I could potentially see it working out.
I think it could be a slow burn. I think it could be something that when they leave the villa, they come back to the reunion and it's like way stronger even than it was before.
Yeah, I agree.
Did I steal your take?
A little bit.
I'm sorry.
You are just jumping in there cutting.
I'm sorry, the coffee is hitting really hard. Okay, Zach and Kata.
Zach and Kata. I like them.
I know. I want to be like, guys break up, because I just feel like Zach isn't 100% honest with her most of the time. But I like really think they are good together in a lot of ways.
I think they work. I think they work for a while. I don't know if they end up married, but like I think they work for a while after the show.
When Zach went back to the villa after Casa, he didn't tell Kata that his connection at Casa, Alana, the angel, was removed from the show. He just made it seem like they didn't work out. He's like, I didn't share that information with you because it wasn't relevant. I hate that sentence. Do you think he should have told her?
I think him not telling her was the dumbest move of all time. That would have been the first thing I would have got off my chest, because there's just no way you're not going to look guilty by withholding that information. Like, everyone in the house backs you. Like, you were not going to end up leaving with that girl. You were shutting down that relationship, and then she got kicked off the show. So why withhold that information is such a stupid move. And I think it's what you said. I think Zach was just lazy and knew that Kata was going to be upset and he didn't want to deal with the headache. Well, you knew this was going to come up. So that was just a very bad move.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah. When people say, oh, I just didn't include that because it wasn't relevant, it was probably relevant. You just didn't want to deal with the consequences of including that part of the story because you feel like it weakens your argument. But exactly what you said, everyone would have backed him if he was like, she was removed, but I would not have continued my connection with her. And she would have had a stronger level of trust with him. However, he didn't. And I just want to be like, Zach, like, you should have just told her, please, please, please just tell her next time.
Yeah.
You know what I will say, Joe? One of my favorite traits about you from the beginning and for the last 5 years is you are so direct with the delivery of information, good or bad information, and you never try to overcomplicate it, overfluff it, say it in a more elaborate way. Like, you deliver information to me, whether I'm going to be happy or upset about it, in the most simplified, direct way. And I just love it so much. It's like one of my favorite qualities about you.
Thank you. Yeah.
And it was something that was super important to me in a relationship.
Yeah, I just try to be very direct because it's just, I just always feel like that's just the best way to go about it. Because even if it's hard to hear at first, like, it's better now than later, and it'll just be easier for you to digest the information and be like, okay, like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
versus you getting caught later, because it is a lie. When you withhold information, it is a lie.
Yeah.
Trinity and Bryce, sweet angels.
Yeah, I think they're gonna win.
For sure they're gonna win, and I think well deserved.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love them. Kenzie and Dylan.
All right, Kenzie and Dylan, no, not gonna make it. Don't even want them to. Don't care.
Okay, last but not least, TT and KC. I'm TT.
I will say this about Casey, and I know everyone hates Casey, but I will say, out of all the apologies, his apology to Anaya, and I know I'm being whatever pro guy here, but I think was very sincere. And I do think, like, to me, I think you've seen a lot of growth, actual growth with Casey by him watching himself back and really being like, I really fucked up. And she really does deserve an apology. And I thought that was nice to see. And I think Anaya was like, I accept your apology because I know it's real. And it seemed that way.
Yeah. The contrast between sincere going to Melanie and being like, I'm a people pleaser, and that's why I was with Soul. And she was like, who are you pleasing other than yourself? Like, this is not reflection upon why you did these things. You did these things because they were self-serving.
Well, Sincere just doesn't realize yet that he just can't turn down a hot girl. It doesn't matter if he's in a relationship or not. He is not ready to turn down a hot girl. That's it. That's the situation.
Think he wants to be in an exclusive relationship.
I don't think
maybe he should explore polyamory. It might be a better fit for him.
No, I just think he's not. Yeah, he's just.
The thing is, he's still gonna lie. He's
not ready yet. But yeah.
But the contrast between that conversation and then Casey, who I actually think nailed it when he was like, I wanted to explore. I didn't because I didn't want to fight with you about it. So I built up a lot of resentment to you when I should have just been honest with you. And then when I got to Casa, it kind of all exploded in a way that was super disrespectful. I was like, I actually think you nailed it. And I can respect the fact that, it took him a while to get there, but he did get there. And I do feel like we finally got a genuine apology from him to Anaya, and they were able to go their separate ways. And she's very mature. So she obviously, accepted, gave him grace. So I think I was glad, with the way that their relationship kind of came to a close.
Yeah. But overall, great season. Love Island, great show. Really, really just a great show.
It is. It makes me so happy to watch.
I saw on TikTok someone posted a hat that men used to go to war and now they watch Love Island on purpose. And I'm one of those guys.
You are. But I would rather you sitting on the couch watching Love Island with me than going to war, so I'm okay with it.
That's a podcast.
Thank you guys so much for listening to Not Married to This. You can find us on YouTube and TikTok at Not Married to This or Instagram at Not Married to This Pod. We will be back every single Thursday. Thanks for listening. Bye.